What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be wet sanding a second pair of headlights for my car. These are the originals that the car came with. I had a buddy of mine, Alex, shout out to you, who gave me these headlights to use. I wet sanded those the other day, and now it's time to wet sand the originals. I've wet sanded these once before. However, the clear coat's starting to come off a little bit. They're starting to crackle. They got a couple of scratches, and they're starting to get yellow again. So we're going to be wet sanding the clear coat off, get the scratches off today. And yeah, we'll be starting with the 400 grit. We're going to move to the 800 grit, and then we're going to finish off with the 3000 grit. As we're doing this, obviously it's wet sanding, so we're going to be spraying it with the water. And then after we're done with that, we're going to tape it up with the tape. We're going to clean it with the alcohol and use these wipes to get all the residue off. And then after that, we're going to be using this clear coat. This is Rust-Oleum. This is an ultra covered, a 2X. It's gloss clear, but the most important part of this is it says it's fast drying, non-yellowing, and UV resistant. This is exactly what you want to put on your lights, because if you put something just as a clear coat on, and it's not for the right material, and it doesn't have yellowing and UV resistant, it's pretty much just going to come off. So as you can see with these headlights that I have, these ones are pretty good right now. I put the same stuff on them, I use the same stuff, so it doesn't going to work out. So let's get started.
All right, so here's the update right now. We're on 400 grit, just starting. Basically, all we're doing is like this, back and forth, circles, blah, blah, blah. Then we're gonna do, over time, we just spray it. And then, yeah, over time, the headlights will come out a lot better. But yeah.
All right, so we wet sanded with the 400 for a little bit, used a couple of pieces, definitely got a lot of the yellowing out of the headlights. So they're pretty much gonna look a little scratched up because you just took the clear coat off. That's normal, as long as you really get that yellowing off. So now we're just gonna take a clean rag and we're just gonna try and wipe all that residue off as much as you can. You might have to wet it a couple of times to get that residue off. But again, this isn't really that important because you are going to be wet sanding again. You really are going to get a lot more residue. So this is the first one. This is me and Dean both switched off on both so we can get an even amount of sand detailing. So we're just going to wipe these all off. And now we're going to move on to the 800.
All right, so we're now on the next layer of sandpaper. This is the second out of third layer of sandpaper we're gonna be doing for today on these headlights. They already look really good compared to the car.
So the reason that we're going to 800 is because after doing the 400 and really getting that yellow off, it scratches up. So the 800 kind of helps clear up all the scratches before we go to the 3000, which pretty much smooths it out before we do the clear coat. All right, so we're on the last coat of sandpaper. This is the 3000 grit. When you do the 3000 grit, you definitely want to do it a lot lighter than the other two and just do small circles, because this one's the one that's going to clear up all the scratches and really make this light pop. So we're going to do that now, and we'll get back to you guys with the end results. All right, so we just hit the lights with the 3000 and they're looking pretty clear. Obviously you can see, I don't know how well you can see actually, but you can see that there's a little bit of scratch marks, very, very tiny. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna clear that up with the rubbing alcohol here. This is isopropyl alcohol. This is the best stuff that you can use to really get all that dirt and stuff in there and get it prepped for the clear coat. So now we're just gonna tape up these lights and get them all ready to be cleaned and then clear coated.
Okay, so we're about to put the clear coat on. We just put some masking tape over it just to be safe, keep the outline all clean. Basically what you want to do is you want to put the rubbing alcohol on here first before you do anything. Let it dry, let it sit, and then you want to put the clear coat on.
All right, so when you're spray painting these lights, now we're on the second coat. But when you're spray painting these lights, obviously you always want to shake the can. That's something that everybody knows, but also you want to go with the wind. So in our case, it's not very windy, so we don't have to worry about that. But if the wind is going this way, you want to spray the can this way. Also, what I like to do is go against the surface so you can kind of see how far you have to get. See, now I know that I have to go about this far from the light. So that's the best way to do it. I like to start from top to bottom and kind of do a little bit of a light touch up on my way up and down. So I like to go. And just touch it up a little bit. And then that's that. All right, so we just did the first and second coat, and now we're gonna be doing that last coat. It's gonna be a very light coat. We're just gonna spray it very lightly, pretty far away, and we're gonna let them dry and pick them up tomorrow and put them on the car.